Welcome back to JB Reviews. I do have some unfortunate news about our transmissions. I spoke to a 30-year tech. I can't mention who it is because he didn't want to be on camera, number one. Number two, he says, what I'm telling you could probably make me lose my job. So unfortunately, I can't tell you what store I was at and who it was. He actually reached out to me and was just telling me about my truck. And he says, hey, the only negative thing about these new trucks is the 10L1000 is junk. Which is why I'm at the Ram store to get rid of, I'm just kidding. All my GM followers are about to unsubscribe from my channel. Oh, that was funny. I'm sorry. I can only imagine the comment section, but you know what? Listen. I don't care. I have found that if you take care of your truck, 9 times out of 10 you won't have any issues. And I'm willing to bet you most of those people out there having problems with the 10L1000, they're probably tuning their trucks. I'm willing to bet it. However, there is a bulletin that got released. I'm going to show you guys a quick clip. I just got blessed. I walked into a dealer and there you had a 2020 2021 GMC sitting on the lift, transmission out, and yeah, I got a little bit of footage. Let's go ahead and jump into it, and then I'm going to show you guys the bulletin online, that way you have an idea of what to look for. My truck hasn't had the issue, and I think it's not widespread because I've never even heard of it. I just got blessed walking into the dealership when I saw the truck sitting on the left, and literally the 10L1000 was just pulled out of the truck, and one of the guys actually explained it. This is what it was, so take a look at it. So here is a 10L1000. Now this one did not fail, but it was leaking from here. So I'll show you guys a picture really quickly. They actually just had to replace this right here, and that fixes the problem for the leak that they had on this 10L1000. But it's not a big transmission, to be honest with you. I thought it'd be a little bit bigger. While it's inside the truck, it looks a lot bigger though. But yeah, it leaks pretty much from right there. So here's the TSB. They did release this a couple years ago, and it does say for 2,500, but if you go down below, it'll show that it's for 25 and 3,500, two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. Now it does summarize a little bit better down below. It says the fluid leak may be visible from two locations: the transmission case plugs at the rear of the transmission oil pan rail, or between the transmission and transfer case mating surfaces for four-wheel drive, or between the transmission case and extension housing two-wheel drive, as the transmission rear case plugs are covered by the transfer case front case half or extension housing and may leak through weep holes. If you scroll down a little bit more, it'll just show some pictures for, I guess, where the leak is at. Okay, and that is pretty much it. I'm pretty sure anyone who sees a leak under their truck is going to take it in for service, but just be sure to check that. I mean, if you don't park in an area where you would notice it, it's probably not a big leak from what I've been told. But let's take a quick detour. I just installed something on my truck. I am so excited for you guys to see it. Check this out. You ready for it? You guys notice anything different? Oh yes! We have the dual pod iDash. Check it out. I am so excited. Yes. You know, I've been looking at these for almost a year, but I'm so lazy. Like, you guys have to understand, like, it takes me a long time to jump. I haven't even done merch yet. Like, some people have been asking me, bro, when are you gonna do merch? Someone just needs to get on my nerves with it. You got to keep asking me. I'm gonna do it really soon though. But yes, we have temperatures. I haven't started setting it up. All I did was change this one. I was just trying to figure out how to use it. It's kind of confusing at first, but once you get in there, it starts to make sense. So I have the engine oil temp. I love that. There's nothing on this truck. I'm gonna put my exhaust gas temps on here. I'm gonna put my regen on here. Oh, we're gonna set it up, guys. I can't wait. I don't think you can touch the screen. I think it's just these buttons on the side there. But yeah, I haven't even checked out anything. We're gonna get this thing all set up, and I'll show you all my parameters that I set in there. But apart from that, what can you do to make sure your transmission lasts a long time? The answer to that question is there's not much, unfortunately. Now, that tech did tell me that Ford and GM did co-develop these transmissions together. So the 10L1000 and the GMs and the 10R140, he said they were co-developed. Regardless of what people say online, he says, because I told him, I says a lot of people online say that's not true. They only co-developed the half-ton trucks, 10-speed. And he said, nope, this one was done together too. So basically both of those transmissions are trash. So yes, Ram has the best transmission. Suck it, everyone who hates Ram. If you don't hate Ram, then you won't get offended by what I just said. But yes, Ram probably does have the best transmissions, guys. And you know, it's pretty much confirmed that they're going to be getting the ZF Powerline, which is a beast of a transmission. Every technician I've ever talked to says ZF 100% the way to go, including the guy actually who gave me this information here. So one thing he did say, and this is just something to consider. I have to take my truck in at some point because I've already talked about this. He says if you feel any type of hesitation in the transmission, if it's consistent, any shudder, I feel shudders in my transmission, which is a little scary. And yeah, I'm a little bummed by that. But if you feel any inconsistencies on the transmission, he says 100% take it in. He says watch those temperatures on the transmission. If you notice that they get hot, that might be a reason to take it in. But some of the things that he said, I have to look it up here on my phone. He did say, actually my phone's inside the truck, but he did say there's a few things that are just weak on the transmission. He says if they fix it, then maybe, just maybe, it might be a better transmission. Now, the first thing that he brought up was the solenoid. He didn't say if it was a shift solenoid, but he just said one of the solenoids in the transmission has a major issue. He said that's the most common issue that he has coming into his shop. And if you don't remember, the Allison 1000 actually had a similar problem too. So even though the true Allison is always, you know, chalked up to be one of the best transmissions, even that one wasn't without its flaws. Obviously, this had other issues too that I can't think off the top of my head. But the next one here, unfortunately, if you have this problem, God bless you, because he said this: the valve body is the major problem that they see with this transmission too, which is the worst because he will have a truck sitting for 3-4+ months waiting on a valve body. And he says that's probably the only negative thing about this transmission is, yeah, you have more gears, and that's always good. And they are deeper compared to the 10L1000. The reason why this truck is able to tow the way it can today is because of this 10-speed transmission. The Allison 1000 really held this truck back because of the gearing in that transmission. So it wasn't able to, you know, tow the 30,000 plus pounds that Ram and Ford were able to do. So that's why they went with the 10L1000. And at the end of the day, this is a good transmission. Yeah, you're going to have problems. I think where you're going to see most of your problems is by tuning your truck. So if you're looking to buy one of these and get 500 plus horsepower and 1,200 pound-feet of torque, you're probably going to blow up your transmission. And I'm willing to bet you some of the people having the problems are probably doing tunes on their trucks, especially on the 2020 to 2023 models. So I haven't heard of anyone having any issues on this model year from 2024 plus, and I'm not even sure if they did any adjustments to the transmission. I don't think they did because I don't recall them talking about it. But all in all, I do love my truck. I will take it in for service and have them just check it for the shudder. It doesn't happen often. It's only when I'm unloaded. It never happens when I'm towing, and it's very, very inconsistent. It's sometimes I'm just on the highway. If I'm at like 45, 50 miles an hour and I go to maybe pass someone, sometimes it'll just shudder just a little bit. And if I'm on a highway, it'll do it if I need it to downshift. Yeah, but it's very inconsistent. But again, like I said, I love the truck and I would still buy it again if, you know, I had to. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you've had an issue, I don't care about the people who always have something negative to say about any manufacturer they don't like. I get it. If you don't like Ram trucks because they're junk, the only good thing in a Ram is the Cummins, which is not true. A lot of people say that. You know, if you've never driven a Ram or had a chance to have one for a week, I had one for 4 years almost actually, and it was a phenomenal truck. I had no issues. As a matter of fact, my Ram was more reliable than this GMC was. I've replaced more things in this GMC than I ever did on my Ram. And that's not a knock on GM. It's just that I know today trucks are just not made to the same quality as they were just 5+ years ago. It's just a fact. I'm willing to bet you that Ram trucks, if I were to get one today, wouldn't be to the same quality as my 2019 was. But yeah, I think that if you are in the market for a GM product, I would just say just keep it stock. I did do some boost tubes and turbo inlet, and that just really woke up the turbo. I don't feel like it really added a big bump in power. It just really helped the boost to come on a lot more consistently and smoother. And obviously when you're going up grades, your engine's gonna be a little bit happier because you're putting more air into the engine and into the turbo. So it should, in my opinion, last a little bit longer because of the, you know, extra air that it's intaking versus having to, you know, have more heat soak from the rubber hoses and not as much diameter. But yeah, I definitely think that most people are not going to have the issue on the 10L1000 if you are stock. But if you have owned the truck or own it, or if you've had an issue with your transmission within 2020 to 2024, share your thoughts down below. I would like to hear what you have to say, because hey, we all learn from you. If you know, you speak up and say, yeah, I had this issue, here's what I found, here's how I drove my truck, I towed this trailer. Just let us know enough information that we have an idea. And if your truck was tuned, hey, let us know that too, because that might help a lot too. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Like the video if you haven't. See you guys soon.